What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Game of Thrones Season 7 video. So if you're new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is super appreciated. You can check out my review of episode 6 on my channel, and also a breakdown and preview of episode 7, including the trailer as well, on my channel. So welcome. Game of Thrones is running at a breakneck speed, and we have had things which, in my opinion, the big reveal here of one of Daenerys' dragons dying and then being sort of changed and turned by the Night King here is quite a big thing, and it is something which, if this was like last season or all of the seasons before, this would probably be like at least the finale or the big thing that they would leave us on a cliffhanger, to be honest. But here, this is what we got literally at the end of the episode, after the death of poor old Viserion, which died. So that was the dragon there, and it was a horrible, painful thing to watch, to be honest, and it was so sad when it died, and the horrible blood-curdling scream that it let out as it was crashing down to the ground. And I gotta say, Night King, you are a G at the javelin toss. You are going to win the Westerosi Olympics there easily, and the memes about that are just hilarious, to be honest. And some of the memes about the kind of convenience, and even Gendry running just untold miles in simply a matter of hours. Well, he's good at rowing there, isn't he, as well, and he's good at running, seemingly. So we've got this big thing here that one of poor old Daenerys' dragons is dead, and it's been brought out of the water there, which somehow they got these big chains. And one thing, now people are saying, like, where do they get the chains from? Now, I guess you can find those things somewhere in the north, or from maybe Hardhome, perhaps maybe they were lying around or whatever. I can accept that. I can accept that on that level. But what I don't get is, you have got giants who have been turned into White Walkers, or into Wight, sorry. And those things aren't the ones pulling out the dragon from the water. What? So yeah, there are some things which are sort of problematic and sort of convenient and weird in this episode. However, the question remains here is the dragon a white or a ice dragon? Now, obviously, there is quite a big thing here, and I'll let you know what I think in the bottom. I know the comments here are going to be like, at this point, well, it's a white. It's a white, obviously. Yes, but let's discuss why it is what it might actually be. So, ice dragons, they do actually exist in the mythos of A Song of Ice and Fire, and they were mentioned in the World of Ice and Fire, the companion notes for the story, which gives us a lot of much needed world building around. And companion books are always really cool, to be honest. I absolutely love them for shows where you get an insight into what the world actually is. So let's take a look at what it says. These colossal beasts, many times larger than the dragons of Valyria, are said to be made of living ice, with eyes of pale blue crystal and vast translucent wings, through which the moon and stars can be glimpsed as they wheel across the sky. Whereas common dragons, if any dragon can truly be said to be common, breathe flame, ice dragons supposedly breathe cold, a chill so terrible that it can freeze a man solid in half a heartbeat. So these ice dragons do exist, and we actually had old Nan who mentioned them to Jon when he was a child, and they were mentioned to him there. So it's mentioned twice, really, in the canon that these ice dragons do exist, and they do seemingly to really seem to be a myth, which is what the dragons were until Daenerys brought them over to Westeros and everyone can see that they actually exist. So ice dragons there do happen, and now the White and the White Walkers are an interesting breed because, well, we know that animals can actually be turned into whites, and we saw the polar bear at probably the start of the first kind of fight in the episode there, and really it is a sign that was signposting what is going to happen upcoming, and it does kind of give us an insight as to how the powers do seem to work. And another thing which was interesting as a side note is the fact that, well, we have the ability to stop Wight, if you kill the person who turned them, which is, well, the Night King. So the Night King turned he's kind of like the one behind all of this. So if you kill him, presumably they're all going to die, but you've got to get to him first, which is no mean feat, as we found out. But the Wights, they turn, and it seems like if you are turned into a White Walker, well, you lead all these Wights as well. And we saw that happening with the baby. We saw the baby turn into what I presume there is a White Walker. And the question here is, what if the dragon was actually a Wight? Would it be a White Walker, or how would it have its kind of brain messed up with? And we saw the eyes turn very similar to, of course, the poor old baby who was turned. So the thing here is that it's not really an ice dragon if you take what is said at face value, because ice dragons, they kind of already exist. It's not really going to turn into an ice dragon. So it's more likely going to turn into a Wight as well, or a White Flyer now instead of a Walker, to be honest. So I think that that's most likely what is actually going to happen. But technically you can call it an ice dragon when you think about it, because, well, it's ice. It's got that thing there. And the question is, will it breathe fire or a cold thing like the poor old ice dragons? So the thing here is to remember what it's going to do. And the thing is, flame does kill White Walkers. Seemingly not. It kills Wights. Seemingly the Night King and the other lieutenants that he has can actually jump over this, really, which is kind of strange. But the question remains, will it actually breathe cold or flame, which is a tough decision there, and something which I haven't decided on personally. And, well, what will happen next with this powerful being? And I think that the Night King will actually use it to take over and destroy the wall and go through it. Because if you remember, Benjamin Stark said that if the dead cannot walk through the wall, and that's why he has to exist up there in the north. And I've also got a video on, is Benjamin Stark a turned Wight or White Walker, as well, on my channel, which you can check out as well. But I do think that this dragon will be used to destroy the wall. Now that's it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.